Hey YouTube, welcome to the first impressions of the Specialized Diverge X1 2019. To give you an idea, a roadie by background, had loads of bikes, aluminium, carbon, rode the wave of 23 mils with rim brakes all the way up to 28 mils, disc brakes, electronic group sets, the works really throughout the years. Currently riding a Trecamonda SL6 disc, which I rode the Untitled Tour on this year. So predominantly road, a little bit of mountain biking background, but not huge amounts. I've also owned two Divergers before. The red and black aluminium one about 3 or 4 years ago, and then last summer had the all black carbon sort of 105 level one. Loved that bike, got rid of it because it was SCS. Okay, so if you haven't seen the Specialized Diverge X1 for 2019, here it is, and I'll talk you through a few bits I've swapped out already. So you can probably see by the tan wall tyres already, we've gone across to WTB Resolutes in 42 mil. Set those up tubeless. And they come, the stock wheels on this bike are really nice carbon C38 by Roval, which have yet to been released, but they're going to come out around about the £900 RRP mark. Look pretty good. They've got a 21 mil inner width. I'm not entirely sure. It is written somewhere on the tyre. Sorry, the wheel itself. I wanted to see if this bike could be a bit of a quiver killer. So one of the first things I did actually was put 28 mil Vittoria Corsa Control tyres on these Roval rims and took it on a road route that I know quite well. It's very comfortable, it felt reasonably fast, but compared to my Monda, when the road starts to go uphill, this thing doesn't ride anywhere near as nicely, and it's nothing to do with weight. I'm convinced of that. It's probably not even that much heavier in this setup. It's all to do with that geometry, the long wheelbase, the long chainstays. You try and get out the saddle and do an Alberto Contador upper climb, and this thing feels quite draggy. It's definitely designed for comfort off-road and doing long miles, which it does very capably. So the 28 mils came straight back off, and I went for these 42 mil Resolutes, which are actually lighter than the original 38 mil Sawtooth tyres it came with, and I just think far more capable all round. Hopefully you can see with the 42 mils, that's what this bike is rated up to, and actually, yeah, the clearance wise, you wouldn't want to go any closer, I don't think, because you start getting mud and gravel and stuff in here, and you're going to start causing yourself issues. But these 42 mils are no problem at all, and I'm told it can take a 650B, but it's got a very low bottom bracket height. This I really noticed that even when I had the 28 mils on, you really risk pedal strike actually. So I don't know how the 650s how they'd work. Some people on YouTube have done it, so check out their videos. Gone across to some Shimano XT pedals and off-road shoes. I did run this on-road shoes initially, and yeah, this sort of bike deserves off-road shoes. I think really good for that. It's got a gobbler seat post up here, which I've really found works well on this bike over the bigger bumps and stuff. I've had it on road bikes before, not really noticed much benefit from it, but on the big stuff off-road it really does help out the back end. I've swapped out the Phenom just for a charge, a fabric scoop, the flat profiled one. Up front, standard stock gravel handlebars. They've got quite a bit of flair on them, and I just kept the stock medium Future Shock insert in there. Comes with a soft and a hard as well. You could swap out at some point, and I've kept the stack as it is at the moment. Might play around with that a little bit. Got 15 mil rise. You can probably see on the handlebars there as well, so it's quite a high front end, which is nice for this bike. Paint scheme is absolutely fantastic, I think. The carbon is a see-through lacquer, and then you've got this flip paint that sort of goes green through to purple. Running a SRAM Force 1x, that's a new system for me. I've never run a 1x before. 40 up front and then a 10 to 42 out the back. Future Shock in this bike is pretty capable. First thing you want to do is compress the handlebars and see what it looks like, but on the bike you just don't really notice it, apart from the fact that it's definitely giving you a softer ride and taking those hits. I've installed a swap box on here, and it just about closes now with I took the 25 mil inner tube out, which wouldn't have worked with these tyres, and I've put the fat one in. Just about fits all together there. Okay, so final thoughts on a Diverge. Absolutely loving it as a bike so far. It's really nice. It's probably worth splashing the cash and going towards one of these higher end carbon models with the full Future Shock and the Cobbler Gobbler seat posts, because I think they make a massive difference to the overall ride. Get rid of the sawtooth tyres is my recommendation. I think there's much better tyres out there, much lighter, more capable. These Resolutes are a good example of that, but there's plenty of other brands and models out there I'm sure that'd be just as good. Compared to the old Diverge, night and day, this bike. Not as good on road as the old Diverge, but way more capable off it, so it's got much better depth, this one, and hopefully I'll be able to do some really long both road rides like the jog, but also I'd love to fly out to Kansas, do Dirty Kansas, and do some of the other big gravel rides on it as well. So anything I've missed, ask any questions in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them. Cheers.